Happy Saturday! Welcome to the Jammin' Stamper. I am Amber. I'm the Jammin' Stamper. I wanted to just say I am so excited. We are so close to being able to do our 200 follower giveaway. We are about 12 people away. So just remember, if you want to be entered in, hit the red subscribe button either down below or at the top right of your screen, depending on what platform you're on. And I want to show you the stamp set I'm giving away. I told you it was going to be a retired stamp set. This is the stamp set. It's called Apple of My Eye. You guys, I love this stamp set. This is such a fun stamp set. Yes, it's retired and yes, it's used, but that's okay. It is an awesome stamp set. It's very similar to one that's in the catalog now, but they retired this one and put the new one in. So, I can't close my case today. Ah, come on, case. The case works. I just struggle. Okay, there we go. We are closed. Closed? Oh, goodness. Alright. Anyway, moving on. The case works. Come on, close. There we go. Okay, we are closed. Today, we are going to make a shaker card, as I have had some requests from some good customers for a shaker card. So, first thing we are going to do is we are actually going to use a piece of some of our new designer series paper. This is from the holiday catalog, and you can't really see it right now, but it has a design on it. So we are actually going to be using Dapper Denim and Flirty Flamingo to bring out the design color. And we're going to be sponging them with some of the Stampin Sponges. So I'm going to start off with Flirty Flamingo for my sponging. Okay. Alright, there's our Flirty Flamingo. So when you sponge with this method, what we're going to want to do is we're going to kind of go back and forth across the paper. We're going to dab on here and then just go back and forth across the paper to bring out the design. You actually, I can start seeing it already. I don't know how well you guys can see that on there. But it's bringing out the design. It's just some really pretty flowers on here. Okay. Actually, I mean, I guess these are more like ferns. Or maybe, since it's from a Christmas paper, maybe they'd be like holly leaves. I don't know. I kind of think they're florally. Here, let me show you. Up close. Can you see the design that's coming up? And the great thing about sponging it this way is you can decide how dark you want them to be. Depending on how many times you go across with the sponge. I mean, I just kind of go back and forth for a little bit until I like the way it looks. And I do a little bit less on these edges because I'm going to do the Dapper Denim on the corners and kind of blend them in there where they meet. So just really lightly, oops, with my Flirty Flamingo on the edges of it. So I kind of just do a diagonal stripe of it down the middle. Okay. So now we're actually done with Flirty Flamingo. We're not going to stamp anything with it today either. So I'm going to put my Flirty Flamingo away, and that's half the sponge away. Our Stampin Sponges, I actually, for me, I cut them up into like 6 or 8 pieces. They're actually round, and I cut them up to 6 or 8 pieces to make them last longer. And then I like working with the hard edge like this. I mean, you can work with the rounded edges if you want, but I like working with the hard edge. So now I'm going to take my Dapper Denim, and Dapper Denim is a little bit of a juicier stamp. The color's a little darker, so it won't take as much rubbing to bring out the color. Do you see that already? Look at that. So fun. And I'm going to kind of do this just in a little bit right here, overlap. See how it kind of made it a little bit purple? Okay. And I'm going to do this on the bottom half too. Right there. And yeah, I'm getting a little bit on my background. So if you want to use a background paper, you might want to use a background paper. I will just wash this off with my Lysol wipe later. But there is my sponged card. Look how pretty that transition is. This is just such pretty paper. Okay, and now I'm actually going to use my Dapper Denim again to stamp. We are using our Jar of Love stamp set, and we're actually just using one stamp from it for the sentiment. The stamp that says, "Throw kindness around like confetti." So since I have this out, I'm going to take my piece of paper, which I have cut to 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4 of an inch, so it'll fit the saying in here perfectly. And yeah, I'm using my paper pumpkin block because it's what I had close by. I've used it a lot this week. Okay, so throw kindness around like confetti, and I'm going to kind of just push on the back to make sure it's even. Okay. So now I've got my sentiment. I'm actually going to put that aside for a minute because I'm not going to use it yet. And we are done with Dapper Denim. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I need my Big Shot, because we are going to use the Big Shot. Okay, now let's see if I can get this into frame okay. Move this up and get it into frame a little better for you so you can see a little more of what I'm doing. Okay, so today we are going to use one of our everyday jar framelets. So these are our everyday jar framelets, okay, and I'm going to use the one that's kind of a medium jar. I'm actually going to put that on the paper I sponged down here in the bottom right. Okay, kind of line that up in the middle of my Big Shot. Then put my second plate on top. This is just the regular plates. I don't have any special plates in my Big Shot. I don't have like the magnetic or precision yet. And that cracking sound is completely normal. Okay. So now, let's just pop that out. So I've got a jar-shaped hole. And I actually have this extra piece if I want to use it for anything later. I can. Put that to the side. And I'm done with my Big Shot. So let me just put that back in there and move it out of the way again. Okay. The next thing I'm going to use is actually, let me move this out of the way. Okay. I'm going to use on the back of this. This is a piece of plastic from one of my class packets. Just a cello bag that has a zip top. I actually just cut off this piece to measure over here perfectly. Okay. And now I'm going to actually do my snail adhesive around the edges of it to attach it. Okay. Stampin' Up! Does have clear sheets you can use for your shaker cards, which is fine. We have them. I'll put the item number in the description if you would like to purchase any of those. But I have not gotten those yet, so I use what I have. And so I have these cello bags that I use for my classes. So I'm just going to line this up, on top of the snail adhesive that I just did. So it covers it back here. So now can you see I've got that plastic there. Okay. Now we are going to use some foam strips. These are our foam strips. They are in the catalog. They are awesome. Awesome for shaker cards. So I will actually just peel off a strip. Okay. And now I'm going to line this up around the edge of this. And the great thing about the foam strips is you can curve them to fit around, which is what I like to do. Fit it around as close as you can to the edge of the jar, like that. It curves, it curves, it curves, I promise. Okay. And yeah, it has extra. That's fine, it'll help with the middle. I'm going to, while I've got this back here, I'm going to put my foam dots on. So, I'm sorry, my Stampin Dimensionals on. So I don't have to worry about it later. So I'm going to I actually am going to double them up. Because the foam strips are taller than the Stampin Dimensionals. So I will put on the 4, and then I'm going to peel off the back and put on 4 more on top of them. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. And don't mind that it's bending up right now. It's okay. It'll flatten out when we put it against the card. Okay. So I've got the 4, and I've got the 4 backings off. So I'm going to take 4 more. 2, 3, 4, and line these up on top of the other ones I've already put on to make them taller. And in a second I'll show you the reason why I'm doing this. Why I'm putting them on now instead of later. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this with my confetti. And I am using the Fancy Frost Sequins. Okay, these are actually my special this month. One of my specials. If you spend $50, you will get these Fancy Frost Sequins from me. If you do them on my host code, which will be right here for you. Put that right there for you. If you purchase at thejamandStamper.stampinup.net and use that host code. Okay. this is one of the things you'll get. So I'm going to just put some of the sequins into my little area here that I've created. Okay, not a ton. The less you use, the more it actually shakes. But just enough to... Oh, our dryer is done and we have a train. I don't know if you can hear both of those things, but... Okay, so I'm going to actually peel off the top of this one right here, because when I put my backing on this, which I'm going to do right now, part of it's going to cover that. So here is my little backing that I made to keep the sequins in when I'm putting them on my actual cardstock, okay? Oh, by the way, this piece of cardstock is cut to 5 1/4 by 4, okay? But see my sequins? They shake. Oh, I might have put them a little too thick in there. Come on. That happens sometimes. When you put them a little thick, they'll get bunched up, but they'll move. They'll move eventually. Come on. Okay, anyway, so now we're going to take off all of our adhesive, the backings of our dimensionals. And I'm going to take my main color for my cardstock, which is Dapper Denim. And this piece is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, had to think. And I have actually scored it in the middle so that I can have a nice even fold. Okay, now we're going to attach this bad boy to it, and it should be inset a little. It's supposed to. So you can see the Dapper Denim around the edges, and we're not done. We're almost there. I'm going to take my little saying that I stamped earlier and another small piece of my designer series paper, like the one that I used back here. It's the same one, and I'm going to actually attach this to that with my Snail Adhesive again. Okay, just one little line of Snail Adhesive right there. Oops. And put that right here. Oh, it'd be better if you guys could see it. Huh. Okay, and then I'm going to use some of my mini glue dots again because I'm attaching it to embossed paper. These will make it stick a little bit better. It's the same thing as like the pumpkin pie, like I told you guys the other day. This will help it stick better since it's embossed. And I'm just going to use 4, 1 on each corner. Okay. Oops, it'd help if it wasn't upside down. Okay, and I'm going to put that right here on it. And our shaker card is complete. Look at that shake. I love that. Alright, that is our card today. Thank you so much for watching the Jammin' Stamper. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked the video. And if you have any questions, just message me. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.